I record the meeting because I want to check back what kind of performance we've gone through, and sometimes I forget to do something, and I need to monitor you and watch you and listen to you again and again. Do
Can
you
I
work?
ask you a question, please?
Yes, go ahead.
If it's possible to have a copy from the recording lesson. صح. I don't know what we can say in English, like healthy coffee.
In English, they don't have any word to describe that. So they bring a word
like in
from
Arabic, صح.
yeah.
Yeah.
In English, they say bon appetit, which is a word that's coming from French because of the aristocracy and
Yeah.
but it's a very common word. So bon appetit. Bon means good. I texted you that on WhatsApp.
Thank you.
I want you just first of all, thank you so much for making it to the meeting. I think if I were to be chosen or given the choice, I were to be given the choice, to be given the choice. If I were to be given the choice between having a delicious dinner on Friday and having an English lesson, you know what I will choose.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I think maybe it's your time today also with your family. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we normally, I mean, I start my lessons around nine-ish, between 9 and beyond. And in this
Yeah.
time, my kids have to go to sleep or to listen to a short story I tell them before they go to sleep, so that they go to sleep. Um, um, what I wanted to say is I want you just to create a Skype account for voice calls. And I want that between now and tomorrow, not tonight.
Yeah.
So we can keep track and record of the progress that we make and the kind of vocabulary like bon appetit that we do have. Also,
Yeah.
I
That's
sent
what
you, yes, for the syllabus or النص التدريبي. I have made an updated version. I have made a mistake by saying group because this is built on an older version. So I sent you an updated version. I also
I have
sent.
downloaded.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also sent you a Microsoft Word document link. Please ignore that because I will depend on Google Documents. It's much easier and easier to be accessed. Better than Microsoft Word. It's going to delay the synchronous work. Third,
Okay.
for the emails that you send me, they are useless because they are on a JPEG form. What I want a raw, RAW text, so we can edit it. If we do not have it, if you do not have it, that's totally fine. We will depend on something in the future.
No, actually, I snipe them from my emails. That's why I have a text. Sure, it's on my outbooks.
You can send me one sample, but I prefer a longer text. دشداشة مثل ما يقول your husband. لأنه because it's going to give us better scope of the kind of words that you used.
Yeah. Because of يعني I know my English level. Avoid to share long emails. So that's why maybe, but I have I will try to share with you the maybe longest one.
Farah, your way of saying this for me seems like you go to a doctor and then
Yeah,
you say, I have pain, but I will not tell you where the pain is. You need to find that out.
yeah, you are right. Yes.
And I will
Yeah,
say, well, is it in your head? Like, do you have headache? And you'll say, no, I don't have headache. It's not in my head. And I say, is it in your arm? Is it in your hand? Is it in your legs? Where is it in? Is it in your back? And you say, no, you have to find that out. um,
you are right.
so uh,
Totally understand you.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think
you are right.
it's much better for me to understand the description that you have. I think there is no harm for that because it's just going to tell me where we are situated in terms of in terms of English. Otherwise, we are not. We are going to be very slow dealing with the case of writing. But first of all,
You are right.
today we are not going to talk about writing. I want you to talk about yourself, and I want you to stop me from talking and focus on you talking. What I want you to do is just to tell me what you
Okay.
did today in details, from the point you woke up to this point before we start the meeting.
Uh-huh. Okay. Um, let's start from 11 o'clock.
Uh huh.
I wake up
11
at
a.m. You
11
mean?
a.m.
Uh huh.
So, yeah, 11 a.m. Because today is a Friday. It's
Mm-hmm.
not usually I wake up before of that. Starting the day like every weekend,
Mm-hmm.
which is for me should be starting by preparing the breakfast,
Mm-hmm.
shower, and
Okay.
start. After that, sure, I start also doing some of the home activities, which is. Uh, do, do you think that I need to say it in details as well?
I love details. I live and love on
Yeah,
details. Um, the the reason I
yeah,
focus on asking you to give me more details is because it's going to give you more flexibility when you talk. It gives you longer time to talk.
you are
And
right.
this is going to help you elaborate and present yourself better. And also, it is going to help me listen to you and take some notes. While I am talking to you right now, I am taking notes. You can have a look here. What I wrote here. I don't know if you can access notes from your phone right now while you're talking to me, but
Um, you mean it's like a sharing notes?
no, I sent you a photo on
Yeah, I
WhatsApp.
see.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I see.
what happens is that I take notes of whatever you say, and then we determine if we need to work on that. But let's just make it as casual as possible because I want to. This is just the introduction, and I would love to hear more about your life, about the kind of activities that you do when you wake up, your daily routine, and how it looks like. And then we will discuss a few questions because I want to help you practice speaking more. And that is why I have this question. On average,
Yeah.
how many hours do you speak English every week? On average. On average يعني كمعدل.
Uh-huh. Yeah, sure, I get you. يعني I'm using English to speak in English only when during the work with my head of unit, because other people, not only my head of unit, some of other head of units, the international people.
Uh-huh.
But mostly I'm using to speak English with during my work with my head. because other people are national. So, you know, when we are speaking totally the conversation in Arabic.
Mm-hmm.
So let me be honestly with you. Even because I don't have enough time, uh, the work in the home was very difficult because of the working remotely in parallel with the home duties and kids responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
It's very difficult. It's difficult to organize. When we were before working from the office, I see that I was organize my time better. So because of that reason, I'm not listening to the movies like before. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
since the last year, I'm not listening to the movies or songs. I mean, English songs or movies. That's why I see that I don't know. I noticed myself that, and I see that since the last year I got some gap in my language
Okay.
because of this. Before I was using to speak more, listening more. I see I don't know if it is due to me or because of the current situation. I don't know.
Okay.
But
Can
if you asking me to say an average, the hours that I'm using to speak in English, maybe I can say 2 hours in maximum
per week?
per week.
Okay.
Yeah,
When you well,
it depends on the duties. Yeah.
okay, perfect. So, do you love speaking English with your colleagues at work, or you just prefer to go on default setting and speak Arabic?
I very like to speak in English on during my work with my national colleagues on chats. We
Mm-hmm.
have Teams. We are using it on during our work. So
Chat, you
and
mean
even when
typing?
I speak with my
Chat is when you're
typing, yeah,
typing, or okay. I don't care about chatting.
type, yeah.
I love to focus on
You
specifically speaking, like active voice speaking, not typing, because I would say
if asking me, I like to use speaking English with them, but they are not. All of them starting the conversation in Arabic. That's why. But when I'm using to typing with them, I never used typing in Arabic.
mhm,
Since my last, let's say maybe 10 years,
ten
I
years ago.
I couldn't use Arabic in typing. Mr. Walid, when I'm using in typing, I see myself, I'm still, I have no idea about the reason of that. I see myself more relaxed and more stable
When
without fault when typing English.
well,
But
I
when
can
I'm trying to
explain.
speak, I lost some words, even the words that I know them well,
Mhm.
but I don't know why I lost them.
Okay, I have explained this in a lot of videos in on my channel, but um, uh,
Okay.
the act of speaking is different from the act of writing. When speaking and writing are production skills, maharat intajiya, and they come because we produce language when we are speaking or when we are writing. Are we clear? Do you hear me?
No, the connection is unstable.
In your side?
From my side, yeah.
Yes. Because if it tells
Now
you
it's good.
okay, perfect. If the connection is unstable and it shows me that on my screen, that is going to be my fault, not your fault. Um, so when we produce, but let me know if you do not hear everything I say. Just say, can you just repeat the last 30 seconds?
Close to the router now.
Okay. Well, there are many reasons why this might happen, but generally speaking, when we speak English and we write English, they are completely different processes or processes.
Yeah.
I am not sure if you can hear me.
I can heard you well.
Okay, perfect. So
yes.
when we speak English and when we produce English, there are completely different processes for language production. They are both language production processes, but the act of speaking is completely different mechanism from the act of writing. When we write, we reflect about the word choices, and we have longer time span to choose the right word formally or informally for people. When we write, we can use emojis. When we write, we can use a huge variety of sources to let people understand what our intentions are. And for that purpose, we are using coded language, which is English. The letters that we type are codes for people to understand us. They are not voice codes, they are written codes. The coding system of writing is different from the coding system of speaking, because on speaking level, we use different vocal or oral related to ears, listening, and speaking back and forth. So when I speak, I choose the words quickly that are active in my memory and code them, saying, I want a cup of coffee. What I say, I want a cup of coffee, has a coded message of request. So you can go to kitchen and fix me a cup of coffee and bring it back to me. So it's a request embedded in voice messages. What you have to do is to decode my message and understand it, analyze it instantaneously, okay, and respond back to me or immediately. This requires a higher processing speed. Let's say if we compare that or draw analogy, and so we تمثيل أو تشبيه to a computer, you need to have higher CPU in order to understand and produce language with other people in speaking section, not writing section. Confirm if you hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, you can hear me. Okay, perfect. So the writing system causes less frustration to writers because they can go to dictionary, they can consult with another friend, they can check the word, they can replace the word, and all of that within the liberty of the time span that is given to them. 1 hour, next week, next day, whenever we like to send that message. But speaking, once the sentence is said in spoken English, it evaporates. تتبخر. It vanishes. تختفي. It goes away. It disappears. But the only thing that is left is the influence or impact on the listeners. And that's a completely different challenging system. Now, for speaking, we need to have better confidence. We need to have better eye contact. That's why I am looking at the camera. I am not looking at my laptop when I am talking to you, because I want to engage you more with me. It requires far more practice, but we have good news and bad news. The bad news is that this is a long process. Maybe 4 months, maybe 6 months. It depends on one factor or one element. And that is how much time you spend speaking. The more time you spend speaking and practicing, the better your skill will be in speaking. Why? Because speaking is a skill. that
Yeah.
is trainable, a trainable skill. What's the
Okay.
meaning of trainable skill?
It comes by practicing or training.
Okay, now there are two types for practicing English. The first type is the quality of training or practice,
Yeah.
and that is the mechanical practice, the way we speak, the kind of topics that we choose. And second is the kind of materials or gadgets or tools we use for practicing. Sometimes if we want to dig a hole in the ground, dig a hole in the ground, نحفر حفرة,
Yeah.
and I give you a spoon, are you going to dig the hole in the 2 or 3 hours I give you to do that kind of mission or job?
And in the ground by using a spoon?
Yes.
No, no, it's impossible. Yeah.
So I have to give you a spade. A spade. You know what a spade is?
Yeah,
Spade.
the right material that we.
اللي هي المسحات. Spade.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
SPADE. So I have to give you a spade because we can dig better and we can take more quantity of soil from the ground so we can dig the hole in the time that is given to us. So sometimes choosing the wrong materials and expecting the right result is just unrealistic. يعني غير واقعي.
Good points. Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Okay, now tell me what you understood from what I said about the difference between writing and speaking and how they are similar or different.
Okay. Sure, I can't say it on the same way that you said it because
I just want to check. I just
way.
want to check if you understood me because you said there is internet interruptions.
Yeah, you're right. What I understood that we have different codes when we are using to type and we are using to speak. So those codes are depends on also many how we can say many factors. So when we are using typing in English, it will be more easy because we have like a long time or not long time, something like more time to, and we have an open space to use the words that we need to use it. I can use translator maybe. I can get help from someone beside me when I'm using to type. But when I'm using to speak, it will be more difficult because I need to depend on my memory. What my memory from the words and what I learned during my previous experience. So that's why it's and also the speaking needs so many practicing in speaking and in listening. So that's why it's difficult to and it is not easy to everyone. Yeah. I think it يعني I got you well, but you know it is difficult to say it like you. I told you.
Okay, so it's difficult, but it's not impossible.
Yeah, sure.
By the way, yeah, by the way, I love your English because you speak with far more thoughts and ideas than the regular, English speaker. But the whole purpose of speaking is to deliver a message for communication, for people to understand what the intentions are in our mind, so that we can reach a consensus or consensus, CONCESUS, CUNSUS. Let me just write that word. Consensus اللي هو يعني اتفاق بالإجماع. Consensus.
Uh-huh.
Do you have a pen? You can write these words. And later
You
when
know,
we do Skype, we can just text each other.
you know what I did yesterday?
Uh-huh.
I actually I'm planning to use a very nice tool in order to document all the new words. I started yesterday to type it in my notebook
It's
before.
just get this size, palm size
Yeah,
notebook, so you can write this
you
word.
know, yesterday from our WhatsApp conversation,
Mhm.
I repeat all of them yesterday night,
Good.
and I got 10 new words. I
Now,
have recorded them. I have just today morning after breakfast. I just reread them again
okay.
because I yeah.
See, listen. So we have the word consensus. I put it in the chat on Zoom. Do you see it?
1 minute.
On the right side of your screen, there is chat, or under in the bottom of the screen, it says chat. So you can just have a look
Yeah,
at
I
it.
see.
You
Yeah,
see
I
it?
see. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Now,
Consensus.
okay.
Oh, okay. I got the U. Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Do you mind if I correct some pronunciation when you say a word? Not to say I'm perfect, but I can give you some feedback on that.
It is my pleasure. I will be very happy if you correct me.
Okay. Um, this word is often mispronounced. The word is
Convert.
in Iraq. How do we describe this? Well, let me tell you something about the brain. It's difficult for English or for other languages brains to say two words or two letters or two sounds from different parts of the mouth. So if I say ve and se, that's easier. But if I say ve and ze, that's far more easier than say ve and se. So in Iraq, we tend to say conversation, but the correct pronunciation of this word is conversation with S. Conversation.
It's not that. It's that.
Never pronounced with Z. Conversation.
Okay.
Conversation. So the word is
Conversation.
conversation.
Me to everyone. 10:48 p.m.
Okay. Conversation. So we normally say the word conversation in
Conversation. Conversation.
do you hear that?
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah.
Conversation. Conversation.
But that's British. Anyways, the second word that you say is I'm using to. It's actually I used to. I used to. I used to. أنا اعتديت على عمل شيء معين. But the nice thing is that we say this in conversation and it comes by practice. So the more we do practice these, the better pattern we see about you. And the better the better pattern we see about you is going to give us good indication of where our weaknesses are and how we can treat this kind of weakness. Do you type fast or slow?
In typing, and I'm good. You can try it here if you want. You can
Okay.
ask me something on chat, and I can answer you. Because you know I can't evaluate myself.
Okay, so I just gave you a task.
I just got your question. Sorry.
Okay, so the question is, I want you to write an email to your boss saying what the difference between speaking and writing is.
Yeah.
So this email is
and
going to,
writing.
yeah, you just summarized some of the main thoughts that I said in this conversation. And I want to see 3 or 4 lines, starting with "Dear Sir," for example. Today, I have taken a short, let's say a short class
Shall I
with
start type? Sorry.
Mr. Waleed. In this meeting, we discussed the difference between speaking and writing. See this? Are we clear? Do you hear me?
Sorry, Mr. Walid.
Do you hear me?
The connection lost. Sorry, the connection lost for a minute, less than a minute, maybe.
Okay, so I said, I want you just to summarize to your boss what we talked about, like the difference between speaking and writing. This is just an example here. So in 3 or 4 sentences, just let me know. I'll be watching your typing here and see what you will write. So I can give you a little bit of feedback here.
Okay, shall I start now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Lionel, that's his name. That's a lovely name.
Like, you know, it's Lionel.
Lionel. Yeah, I just said it in French accent.
Oh, when click enter, it's go out of chat. I wanted to stay in on my conversation on my window. I can't do that.
I am not 100% sure, but I think, can you just say hi or something? Because I can see you're typing. I can see, hope everything is good with you.
Yeah, but when I go, when I want to go to the second line, it's totally go out of my window. I want to keep it in my chat and send it in one.
Do you? How about this? How about you type it in a text in a Microsoft Word quickly in less than a minute, and then copy that and put it here and hit enter.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I will. Okay, I will type it on Outlook, then copy paste here. Okay.
I think it's much better.
Better.
The faster you prefer, because you are familiar with your computer system than me.
With my softwares. Yes.
Oh yeah. Farah, do you hear me?
It's 2 lines now. Is it enough?
Yes. Just copy that and send it to me.
Are you hearing me?
Do you hear me? I can hear you. Do you hear me?
Sorry, Mr. Walid.
I can hear you.
The bandwidth. Yeah, it's 2 lines finished. Can I share it?
Send it to me.
I think the connection is bad.
Send,
because I couldn't hear you.
Send it to me. Send it to me. Can you just send it?
Equation.
This is the equation of communication. هذه ما عاد احنا خلي اشرحها بالعربي انه من نتحدث احنا نستخدم افكار نحولها على رموز اللي هي اما كتابه او speaking وحتى ندل على اشياء اللي هي objects اشياء بالحياه. So when the listeners listen, what happened is they use the codes which are they use speaking or they use listening and reading to understand our thoughts حتى يفهمون أفكارنا. Okay, فهذا back and forth احنا نسميه back and forth ذهابا وإيابا. Are we clear?
Okay.
Now,
Could you repeat could you repeat the last one, because the net was lost as well.
okay.
I couldn't
can-
hear you last minute.
I said, so when we speak or when we write something, listeners and readers have to reverse the process. يعكسون العملية to understand the codes so they understand the thoughts. To understand the codes
Okay.
so they understand our thoughts of what is happening here. So what you wrote here is really nice. So dear Lionel or Lionel, I have taken a short class with Mr. Waleed, which is really good. Have taken is a structure that indicates that you just recently have taken the course. What we can say here, probably add, I have a comment here saying that have taken, we can say, I have recently taken. So we just add these adverbs. هذه احنا نسميها الظروف اللي توصف الفعل. احنا نسميها adverbs. تسمعيني؟ Okay.
اسمعك واضح.
Okay, so I have taken a short class with Mr. Waleed. In this meeting, now when you said class, you have to be consistent. So you have to say be consistent. يعني كوني consistent. يعني don't change words, because I do not assume the reader understands what you want to say unless you clearly state what you want to say. So this meeting can be class again, so you can be consistent. تكونين يعني نسقية. We discussed the difference between speaking and writing. Now this is really okay, but English sentences tend to be shorter than Arabic sentences. English sentences tend to be shorter than Arabic sentences. So what happens here, you are just going through a marathon of sentences without stopping, as if you are fighting with your husband and saying blah 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 blah. You never stop. There's no checkpoints. You just keep talking. You see? Do you hear me?
Unfortunately, I can see the video, but I can't hear you.
Okay,
yeah,
so
now the voice. Yeah, now I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, just be patient tonight, because I think it's Zoom problem. It's not my problem. It's not your problem. It's just Zoom.
But let me tell you what I understand from you. You said you're trying to explain to me that when we are speaking in English, we should not deal it like when we speak in Arabic, because in English we should have more short sentences. Yes.
Well, English tends to be shorter in conversational and formal in writing. So what happens is that when we shift the system of writing from Arabic to English, we do not follow the English rules. We write English with Arabic language rules in mind. And this is what I see here in this text, which is okay. This is a marathon. You're just running without stopping. English sentence is very relatively short. It ranges, they say the average English sentence is between 3 words to, let's say, 12 words. Or let's be modest and say 15 words. Okay, so that's the average. So if we look at this, all of this is one sentence, and it is 78 words. So your sentence is 78 words in one single sentence. And that is a problem because for every sentence, there is one single husband. Let's say that. For every sentence, there's one subject. أكو فاعل واحد. ممكن
Uh-huh.
2 or 3, but that's very maximum. So when we say here, when we speak is different because we can continuously speaking because we can control and orchestrate the way we talk. But when it comes to writing, no, we have to stop. We have checkpoints. It's different.
Uh-huh.
So you can say, I have taken a short class with Mr. Waleed. In this class, we have discussed the differences between between English speaking and English writing, period. نقطة راس سطر. Now here, أكو أشبه ما نكون بالقطار. Writing is like a train in English. Every compartment اللي هي مقطورة, compartment, is connected by joints. So we need joints here. The joint is to tell us logically we are moving from this part to the next one. See? Like if you want to cross the river, you have a bridge. You need to have a bridge. صحيح لو مو صحيح؟
Yes. 100% agree.
So what we need here is something we call it connectors or connection or joints. Like for example, additionally, furthermore, in addition, moreover, which are the kind of standards. These are driving the readers in a more direct and consistent and logical sequence, because we need to always hook يعني نصيد readers. We need to hook readers to keep reading and to keep reading in a very engaging way. يعني هنا مثلا I can say we discussed the difference between speaking and writing, and interestingly اوكي احنا هاي كمان نوخرها فنقول interesting. انت من ناحيه تشوفين when you see interestingly you say what is he trying to say here, because I think he's going to say something interesting. See? So I keep you engaged, I keep you excited, I keep you reading, and that is the way we hook or we fish the readers and say readers. We discussed the reason of making speaking is more difficult. Now in English we do not make speaking. We make cake, we make products, we make mouses, we make lights, we make dinner, but we do not make speaking. We can just say we discuss the reason why speaking is more difficult than writing. So there is this, we have to say than writing, okay, and period. And then here we say احنا ناقشنا السبب اللي يخلي المحادثة، وهنا ضايفة is more أكثر صعوبة من الكتابة. Earlier I said we are writing English with Arabic system in mind. And this is the case.
You're right.
So what happens is that you have to ask yourself, not how do I translate this? Listen, Farah, listen. We have to ask ourselves, not how do we translate this, but how do they say it in English? We have to ask ourselves, how do they say it in English? Not how do I translate this into English? Again, we have to ask ourselves, how do they say it in English? Allah bil khair. We have to ask ourselves, how do they say it in English? Not how do I translate that in English? Because if I translate it, I would be God is in good shape. which is
Yeah.
like, but in English you say good evening, welcome or something. بالعافية we have to say not in well-being, but bon appetit. And
Mhm.
that is the difference, that every language has a different system and culture. And sometimes culture and language go hand in hand. Sometimes
Uh-huh.
culture and language go hand in hand. Go hand in hand sometimes culture and language. So it is not part of the translation literally, يعني نصيا, but how do they say it in English? Are we clear?
Yeah. Yeah, it's clear. So that's mean I
That
should
mean
say
that means
that means
means
yeah,
okay.
that means that I should say the reason why the speaking instead of this making and this wrong sentences. Yeah.
This is very microscopic point. يعني كلش يعني نقطة ميكروسكوبية يعني very small. الفكرة
Yeah.
وين؟ انه احنا اكو فد شيء بالعربي نقول run on sentences. يعني جمل تركض على بعض، ماكو نقطة يعني check point. انه احنا in English we have to create shorter sentences that carry single meaning, one subject or maybe two, but not complicated or compound and complex sentences. This is very complex, but the good news, you are a good speaker, and because you are a good speaker, by default, you can improve your writing.
Thank you.
By the way, native speakers are not good writers by default. By the way, they learn writing. They go through the process of writing, and writing is a process, مو product. Yani, I'm not going to wake up tomorrow, read 2 or 3 books about writing, and I will be the next Stephen King. No,
Yeah.
it just comes by practice, by exposure, by feedback, by editing and reproducing content, and editing and proofreading and editing and proofreading and editing and proofreading. That's why some people change their mind and publish the next edition of their book after a while, just because it's, they change their mind. So
Yeah.
here we can say we delete the comma. Do you see that? And we say the main reason that we have different codes when using them here, them is ambiguity. غموض. Like, what do you mean by them? Who are you talking about?
I mean, speaking and writing.
Well, I'm a very lazy reader, so I have to stop and go back to the earlier sentence to understand that. And for readers, you have to spoil them. لازم تدللين الreader. You have just to give them what they want in the right location. So do not say them unless you have clearly stated what them refers back to. Here's again this comma, and just reduce it. When using typing, the way is more easier. What way? What do you mean by? Now, this is another case of writing English or typing English with Arabic in our mind. الطريقة هي
Yeah.
أسهل لأنه أكو مجال يعني we
Yeah.
have عندنا
You know,
and Mhm.
Mr. Walid, this is my main problem with my head. He is always saying same thing that you just said. He said that Farah, when you are typing, you are just translate your Arabic
Okay,
in
read
English.
aloud. Read that aloud. And that's why I told you, ask yourself, how do they say it in English? Ask yourself,
How
how
I
do
say
they
it in English.
يعني for
Yeah.
example مثلا انه the main reason that we have different codes, السبب الرئيسي اللي احنا عندنا codes او شفرات مختلفة when using them عند استخدامهم when using typing بنستخدم الكتابة. احنا نقول بنستخدم الكتابة. With English we say اذا نريد نقول بنستخدم الكتابة نقول when we use typing. But in English السؤال هو how do they say it in English? We
Yeah.
can say when we are typing. فبالإنجليزي they say when we are typing, not when we use typing. No, typing cannot be used. It can, we can we can type, but we do not use typing. Maybe we use typing to deliver a message to people, but that's completely different interpretation or translation of what we are trying to say here, particularly. So that's, but by the way, this is just general comment. Your subconscious mind will take these notes and reprocesses them. عقلك اللاواعي, you can, for example, you can say, tomorrow I will be a very successful person. And you repeat that and your brain will believe in it. Your brain is very full brain and my brain is very full brain, because the brain believes what it is says, what is said to. العقل يصدق. So if I say, I will be a very successful person, I will be a very successful person. I am determined, because this is how my brain is going to take that statement and put it into practice. Have you heard of the man who was killed because the criminal, al-mujrim? They brought a doctor, and the doctor was testing a theory that says the brain believes, and if the brain believes, the body will follow. And he was a criminal. He killed somebody. They took him to execution, للإعدام. And they usually kill him by injection, بالحقن. So they injected him with water. حقنه بماء أعتقد. And they told him, we injected you with poison. حقناك بسم. So in a few minutes he died. Because his brain believed that there was poison in his body, and that just led him to determine that he's going to die soon. So he died, and that's a true experience. So the brain is a very dangerous creature.
Yeah.
You know, it believes what is told to. That's why we should never say to children, you are a failure. You're a bad person, you're blah blah blah, because they are going to believe that and make it part of their lifestyle.
Right.
So
yes, I believe in that. Yeah, totally.
If you're a believer, then you're definitely on the right track here. So when using typing, we can say when typing. The way
When we
is
are
more
typing.
the way is more easier. Here the way is ambiguous again. We just assume the reader knows what the kind of way we talked about, but we haven't talked about the way before. So assumingly, we should clearly state what the way is, because if we do not state what the way is, the reader is going to get lost. And if the reader gets lost, he is not going to finish the reading that, or the email that we are sending him to. So what happens is that the way speaking is designed is in different shape of the way writing is designed. يعني ماكو شيء بالي محدد, but لأنه أنا I want you to focus on what you want to say here. Is more easier due to more space. We have هنا أكو مشكلة أخرى. When we say due to يعني عادة he is not coming due to some obstacles, بعض العوائق, يعني هو ما راح يجي لأنه أكو عوائق معينة. هذه space we have and هذه and تربط two entities متكافئين من حيث القيمة القواعدية. يعني شلون؟ يعني if I say I and my wife, يعني I هو subject noun, wife my wife هو possessive pronoun, wife هي noun. I و my wife اثنين يعني subjects المعطوف على القبلة. But if I say I and read English, so I, which is subject, and read, which is verb, are imbalanced. ماكو تكافؤ. هذه مشكلة أخرى كلش قابلة للعلاج اللي هي missing. See, missing ends in ing, and more space is a noun. So noun and verb يعني ماكو consistency بيناتهم. فهذا يسمونه imbalance.
Okay.
The listening part. إضافة لهذا, which will give us more mobility to change and edit our words than using speaking. Now, the word using is misplaced or misused.
It's not
Yeah, we can say more than speaking, not استخدام speaking. Here,
more than. Yeah.
هذه, the other thing that I want to mention here is the word which. هذه we call it relative pronoun اللي هو ضمير وصل الذي التي اللذان اللذين. Okay. This is another problem. We can deal with it and we can discuss it and analyze it more. But no matter what you write, there's good thing that your DNA is always in your writing. Like I can tell you, if I am reading 2 books for the same author, I can see the DNA of his writing all over his writing because it's part of his style. Like, for example, Stephen Gresham or Stephen King or Agatha Christie or William Shakespeare or Charles Dickens or John Steinbeck or those famous writers. Like they go through the same thoughts in every book, but differently. So their writing is kind of like similar across the range of their writing. Your writing is very good. It's organic. You have a lot of vocabulary. Whether in writing or in speaking, we both have some issues that we can fix. They are fixable because writing and speaking are trainable skills.
That's good news. Thank you very much.
What's the meaning of the word news?
News?
Yes.
What's the meaning of news?
Yeah.
In Arabic, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Again, I translate my thoughts. Yes, because the news it's in Arabic. We are translated in English.
Then,
Yes.
do you see this sentence? News space good.
Yeah. Is R?
Which one?
What? It's I need to fill the blanks. You mean?
You can just tell me
R
is
good.
or are.
R.
News are good.
News because news should be R. You know? News are good.
You say that with a
Yes.
question tone.
No.
I don't know.
And you 1 minute, sorry. Yeah, I heard you now.
Okay, you said you were planning to take a picture. What kind of picture?
The screen that you just shared with me with correction words and something on the right side. I lost it now. Where is it? Yeah, this one. Yes.
Okay, I'll send it to you through the email. See,
yeah, please.
Can we? Well, is news singular or plural? By the way, الأخبار.
It should be R.
تعرفين ليش تقولين R؟ لأنه إحنا بالعربي كلمة ما عندنا خبر بقد ما عندنا أخبار. الأخبار سيئة، الأخبار جمع بصيغة الجمع. In our mind, we think of news in plural.
Yes.
But in English, it's singular, غير قابل للجمع. لأن هذه S is part of the word. So in English, we do not say newses. We always say news. And we cannot say new because it's a different word.
Yes. It's a different word.
Yeah, so the word news.
I was confused. The last word I answered, I said, I don't know. But you didn't hear me.
Plato, أفلاطون يقول, I don't know is the best wisdom. يعني أفضل الحكمة أنه we say, I don't know.
Yes, because I said first or then I said, then I told you, no, I don't know.
News يقال news is the abbreviation for north, east, west and south.
Mhm.
يعني جهة
Okay.
الأربعة. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
لخصي لي بالعربي اللي افتهمناه من هذا الكورس أول أو ثاني ميتينج لنا بدقيقة.
بدقيقة.
نعم.
Okay. In Arabic.
Please.
تمام. أول شيء حكينا يعني بداية كانت short story what happened today. أوكي بعدين حكينا على الفرق بين ال speaking والtyping و بخلال هذه المحادثات صار إنه في أكيد corrections و new words كمان إنه أنت طلبت evaluate my typing or خلينا نقول إنه الوقت اللي أنا أستغرق بالتايبينج وصار في correction على الباراجراف اللي كتبته قواعديا وكمان مو بس قواعديا حتى يعني بصياغة الكتابة شلون نقول يعني ترتيب الجمل wording أي تمام.
What did you learn? What did you learn about the course? What did you learn about the meeting today? Just quickly.
بصراحة أنا كلش حبيت الكورس لأنه بأشياء جدا مفيدة اللي هي أولها.
Go ahead.
أولها إنه إنه من أكتب الجملة لازم إنه بعد ما أجي يعني بس مجرد translated. هاي كلش حبيتها إنه I should never translate my thoughts from Arabic to English. إنه لازم I think how to say it in English.
Okay, perfect.
لأنه إذا ما فكرت بيها بهذه الطريقة راح تنكتب غلط وحتى الفواصل وكل شيء راح يكون خطأ.
Okay. Finally, we are meeting on Sunday, not tomorrow. What I want you to do you hear me?
Hey, I heard you.
Okay. I believe that writing is not restricted to writing emails. Everybody can write, but the quality of writing comes from practice on understanding the philosophy of writing. So what I want you to do,
yes,
I want you to make updates to the paragraph that you wrote here, and post it on Google Doc. I sent you the link in the email, so you can just check it out, and update it based on my feedback.
Yes.
And confirm to me on email or text message that you have done the updates on Google document, not on Word. You go to the link I sent you on the email, open it, copy the text that you wrote and do the updates. حدثي لي على وفق الفيدباك اللي أنا نطيتها. I will give you feedback on the updated version that you worked on. Are we okay with that?
بس misunderstanding إنه sorry Mr. Walid, الإيميل اللي the email that I received from you which is related to the course program, yeah? I got a Word document. You are talking about a different thing, yes?
أنا أرسلت الكورس هذا يعني خلينا نحكيها بالعربي. الكورس
تمام.
الأول اللي بيه خطأ إنه أنا كاتب إنه أنت راح تتحدثين ويا مجموعة.
Ignore it. I'm talking about the other one, the second one.
كلمة other ambiguous أنا ما أفهم إيش تقصدين بيها.
The second one is better.
كلمة second ambiguous ما أعرف إيش تقصدين بيها بس أنت شنو تحديدا تريدين؟
Okay. You know all of these new things for me. I'm totally thankful. قصدي إنه الإيميل المحدث الثاني اللي دزيت به الكورس بروجرام. الupdated syllabus.
لا، الابديتد syllabus هذه واحد، انا ارسلت مجموعه ايميلات لك.
شنو هذا الجوجل دوكيومنت؟ ما فهمت شنو تقصد يا
الجوجل
هو.
دوكيمنت هي مثل الوورد، انت تكتبين واني اباوع على الكتابه، واني اكتب وانت تباوعين على الفيدباك مالتي.
هاي وين انت دزيتها بايميل يعني؟
دزيتها
سوري، ولا
برابط.
انه؟
انت عندك جيميل، مجرد تروحين
تمام.
تضغطين على الرابط اللي بالجيميل راح ياخذك الدوكيمنت فارغه. تفتحين المايكروسوفت وورد اللي انا دزيتك بيها الفيدباك اللي داخل الايميل.
which one؟ اي ايميل يعني اخر واحد استخدم؟
Okay, I'll explain in a second. هذا ايميل انا دزيت لك اياه، دا تشوفيه؟
لحظة، أنا رحت على الجيميل مالتي، خلي
ترك
أرجع.
الجيميل.
تمام. إيه. أوكي، بس هذا يمكن هسه دزيته.
هسه
جديد؟
دزيته اني. خليت لك بيه الفيدباك اللي هسه قبل شوي كتبته هنا بهذا الدوكيمنت.
I was searching on my previous emails. I thought that you shared already a Google link. Sorry.
I never
Okay.
mentioned that. You
It's
click
my
on.
fault. Sorry.
No, it's okay. So you click on this link, and this document.
Clear.
This document will show up. Okay, you will see. Do you see this document now?
Clear. Very clear.
Okay, so
yes.
you copy the text from the Word document, you put it here.
Yeah.
And
then retype. Yeah.
You do not retype it, you just update it. If you say I retype it, you are just going to copy and paste everything that you typed. So you have to be specific about word choice. What you're going to do, you're going to update the text that we have talked about, or the short essay or the short article. Okay. So what happens is that I will have a look at it, and I will just say Faruha is not the right word. We have to say Farah. Okay. For that part, I will just add a comment here. So I go to comment, and you will see, hello, Farah. This is the right, or this is the right way, period. Do you see that?
Yeah, I see.
Perfect. Are we clear?
Okay.
Are we on the same page?
Yeah, so I should write the
updated version.
Yeah, يعني without delete the wrong words.
Well, there are not wrong words. They are just misplaced or misused.
Yeah, as I got from you now, يعني you need to see both.
Make changes according to what I gave you in my comments.
Yeah, that's clear. But but do you want to see the old words as well?
No.
For example, let me give you an example. For example, I used to say we discussed. We discussed, for example, and now I need to correct it. We discussed. So shall I keep discussed?
No, you can just say we have discussed, because the new version should be completely clean version, as if you are just writing this for the first time. I will have a look at it, and I will give you another feedback on that. If I like it,
thank you very much.
If I like it, we are going to move to the next major issue that we have in writing, and we do that through speaking.
That's great.
Great.
That's great.
If you have any questions, let me know.
Yeah, only one question.
Sure.
Here, I don't know, maybe by the next courses, I will find the answer for it. So if you see that it is not, we have not in the stage to answer this question, you just let me, okay? I'm still confused where I can use have or had or has before the past verb, or where I can't use them. For example, we have discussed the difference and the other sentence I said we discussed the reason.
Mhm.
So why I used have in the first sentence but I didn't use have before discussed on the second sentence. I don't know.
أنت تعشيتي؟ Answer my question.
You know تعشيت بس دا أفكر بالكورس ما تعشيت زين.
من سألت زين أنت هسه وش تعشيتي؟
يعني قبل المحاضرة ب5 دقائق.
يعني هسه وش تعشيتي؟
صحيح.
الفرق بين أني هستوني تعشيت وأني تعشيت إنه هستوني تعشيت I have taken or I have eaten my dinner. وأني
Okay.
تعشيت ممكن قبل ساعتين أو 3 I ate my dinner.
اوكي.
الفرق هو
يعني
قرب الزمن عن وقت الحديث على الحدث. إنه I have
حتى لو
eaten.
كان فرق قليل بالوقت.
الفرق كلش قليل. فبالعراقي نقول أني هستوني فأني هستوني I have just finished my lovely meeting with فرح. مو I finished. ممكن إذا أقول I finished هذا يسمونه long past ماضي بعيد. ممكن I finished my meal last week. I finished my English course 3 years ago. فfinished السكوب مالتها بعيد. I have finished السكوب مالتها كلش قريب من نقطة الحديث عن الموضوع. يعني أنا أتحدث وياك هسه I have just drunk my cup of coffee.
I have just drank my
Oh, I have eaten my lunch
فترة زمنية.
just before. Yeah, very close to the point of speakers.
إذا تعدت ال1 day راح تكون بس ماضي.
مو شرط. بس هو أكو short past وأكو close past يعني قريب ماضي قريب وأكو ماضي بعيد. الماضي البعيد
شو الفرق بيناتهم؟
الشخص شنو رغبته شي يريد يقول. يعني أنا مثلا أريد أدل للباص أنه يعني هو موصيني على ريبورت وريبورت الديدلاين مالته باكر الساعة 8 الصبح. فهو يجيني الساعة 8:30 فيقول لي have you finished the report؟ فراح أقول له I have finished the report. إذا أقول له I have finished the report راح يحس على أنه هو يعني أنا تراخيت بي وهستوني قبل ما يسألني أنا كملته. فبالتالي أنا ما محضر زين. إذا أقول له I finished yes I finished my report yesterday هذا يعني أنني متهيئ له ومحضره قبل يوم قبل يومين. فاكو فرق بالمعنى. فهذا هو ببساطة الفرق بين have finished أو finished.
إنه هنا بنفس الميتينج أنا لازم أكون يا أما أستخدم الهاب أو ما أستخدمها.
هذه نقطة جدلية. تعرفين الأمريكان ما يستخدمون have بالقدر اللي يستخدمون البريطانيين لأنه يعتبرونه لغة رسمية كلش. فالبريطانيين يقولون I have finished my meal. الأمريكان يقولوا I finished my meal مجرد لأنه ما يريد يحب يقول يكون جملة معقدة. البريطانيين يسألون have you had your tea؟ الأمريكان يقول did you have your tea؟ مجرد يستخدم that. الفرق interchangeable. دائرتين تشوفينهم دائرتين مترابطات بمنطقة رمادية. فاثنينهم من حيث المعنى قريبين على بعض جدا. من حيث الدلالة الزمنية مختلفات. لا تحيرين بهم احنا نناقشهم بالتفصيل بوقت آخر إن شاء الله. يعني مو موضوع معقد.
إن شاء الله. الموضوع أنا تعرف ليش سألتك أستاذ وليد؟ لأنه مرة علي بالريبورتس مرة دا أسوي جرافس ل projects أكثر من project progress. فاني كنت كاتبه هذا البروجكت has been مرات انه اكو بين بعد الهاز والهاف.
بن
بن has been completed كنت هيك كاتبه.
يعني هسه تونا كملنا.
طبعا انا ما كنت اعرف. ليونيل قال لي امسحي الهاز بن وكتبي project completed.
تعرفين ليش؟
يعني
لانه اذا تقولين has been completed والشركه مطالبتكم بالمشروع من فتره طويله وانت تقولين لهم has been completed، يعني احنا هسه تونا كملناه، يعني احنا متاخرين قبل فتره الكلام بشويه، يعني قبل يومين او شهر او هيك. بس اذا تقولين
هو خلال الشهر
كان
يعني هو خلال الشهر خلصان يعني
يفضل، يعني هو
كان
يفولو. هو اكو قلت لك هو من ناحيه الدلاله هم من ناحيه القواعد هم مختلفات، من ناحيه الدلاله يعني كلش اكو تقارب بالمعنى. يعني انا ما افضل استخدم هاف بن، يعني اي استخدم الماضي البسيط لانه بالمحادثه يكون اسهل يعني ومفهوم. وثانيا بعض الافعال اللي احنا نسميها الشاذه تتغير الشكل مالتها. فالمتدرب من اقول له مثلا I have forgotten، يجوز ما راح يعرف كلمة forgotten، بس إذا أقول له I forgot أسهل.
صح.
فهو
صح،
بيها أكثر من تبويب.
وهاي يمكن بالبراكتس تصير أوضح.
That is exactly what I said earlier. Yeah, it comes by practice. And this is just an example that you understand it now, because you know I mentioned that to you.
هذا المثال مال 10 ما راح أنسى، راح أتذكره كل ما أكتب الجملة وأستخدم بيها الهاف ويا الفعل الماضي.
Sure.
زين وليد، عفوا أستاذ وليد، بعد ما أني أكو يونتس وكتاب وهيك شيء قريت بالبروجرام.
But listen, I am not going to give you any kind of materials right now. This is for your boss. This is not for you. Just in case you want to submit funding request.
Okay.
I
What about
do not follow rules. I do not follow textbooks. I go by what the student or learner needs. But I give you a sample of what we go through if you want that to submit for funding. So the whole purpose of this document that I sent you is not for our training, but to prove to people that you're taking a course, and in case they can kindly consider funding, that is the option.
So forgot my manager.
Yes,
now,
for your manager.
Course. Is it including books and units and some
if we go through some necessity to do reading, and I see that you need some reading, I will give you a chapter or 2 to 3 pages, because I do not believe in homework. Honestly, I don't like homework, and I don't give homework to people. I give them tasks like this one. This is a task. I want you to do it. I don't believe in memorizing or reading or whatever. Just doesn't make sense. It's not as good. And if I ask the student, did you finish your homework? They'll just feel bad in case they don't have time. Then they will bring excuses that why they did not read. And that is just going to give them that feeling that this is demanding course. And I just want to go through no homework at this time.
I totally understand you. This is actually, I think, a very modern way. Yes.
It depends. It's not perfect. But
you understand our thinking. That's why you are using this way. This way is more lovely, and it will not make me boring. Is it correct?
Bored.
Boring. Okay. Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
You're more than welcome, my dear. Enjoy your evening. Say hi to Ali and thank him on my behalf. Thank him on my behalf. بالنيابة عني, on my behalf. And enjoy the rest of your day or night.
Thank you.
Have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.
Thanks. You too. Bye.